Hey everybody, Erek here, and welcome back to what I would describe as an old school YouTube video. You gotta remember, I started YouTube back in like 2012, and that was around the time where it was really, I would say, community based in terms of, supporting people and doing response videos and all that stuff, and pickups videos, which is what we're going to do today because God only knows that I have a problem buying too many games, and I had a few people ask me in the Discord to do a pickups video or show off what I've been buying and playing, and I didn't really have an idea for this week's video, so I figured, what the heck, let's do a pickups video, old school style. So before we get into the video, if you're new here, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are not already, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos such as, discussion videos or reviews or anything like that. I'm really trying to grow the channel as best I can these days, so your support means the world. So anyway, let's get into the pickups videos. So first in, I've got this thing right here. My great friend Wood from Beat 'em Ups, who was featured on this channel many years ago, has since grown in popularity to the point now where he's got his own signature Satisfy Switch grip. Now, look, I'll be totally honest with you guys. I have never played Switch with a grip. I've always just held the Switch as is. So look, inside the box here, which is obviously custom, artwork here in the blue and yellow, the Beat 'em Ups blue and yellow with Kim and Wood and their cats here. Inside the box, you have a really cool and handy case. And when you open it up, you have a spot for your Switch. Of course, you've got games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 10 games total, cartridges rather. You've got the Switch. I've already got my OLED Switch in here, and you've got this really soft plush feeling case inside, which is going to keep everything nice and snug, and a USB C to C straight in, or they're both actually angled cables. That's pretty cool. So if you need like a battery backup or something like that. I've never played the Switch with a grip, but I tell you what, I've been doing longer gaming sessions with a few of these the Switch games that I'm going to show off today. It makes a world of difference being able to hold the Switch comfortably, and honestly, to the point that when I hold the Switch without the grip now, I honestly can't even hold it anymore. I didn't realize what I was really missing in terms of having that extra girth on the side of the unit. But it really just makes the world of difference. Like I said, I think the Beat 'em Ups edition is all but sold out at this point. So if you want to get one soon. If not, Satisfy does have their own non-Beat 'em Ups version of the Satisfy grip. And of course, I wanted to grab it to support my friend. But it's been a really worthwhile purchase, and I'm using it way more than I thought I would. By the way, I have to say, I'm still in the process of fixing my lighting and my backdrop and all that stuff. So everything looks a little bit different today. So I hope it looks a little bit better than normal. So into the Switch games. I've got a giant pile of Switch games here, and I'm going to go through them as kind of quick as possible. And I obviously want to talk about the games and maybe my motivations for buying each individual game, because my God, there's a lot of them. Title number 1 is Hotshot Racing. Now, the reason I bought this, not only is it cool, arcadey fun, I'm obviously a fan of like Daytona USA and all that stuff. I love arcadey racing games, but I actually submitted some music for this game a few years ago when it was in its infancy stages. Now, I didn't know that it was going to become this. I had no idea that it was going to be Hotshot Racing on the Switch and the PS4 and the Xbox One. So I ended up getting a message a few years later saying, hey, Hotshot Racing is coming out here in the next few days, and your music is in the game. And I was like, okay, okay. So honestly, if you check the credits of Hotshot Racing, you're going to see my name there, which is really cool. So I just picked this up today because I've been wanting to find a copy of Hotshot Racing out there in the wild. And I didn't go through the whole story with the guy behind the counter like, oh, hey, I'm in this game. No, I just kept my mouth shut because, I'm just that kind of guy. Okay, so a couple of Pokemon games here. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this one. I bought this one. I enjoyed it for the first few hours, and then I got really seriously burnt out on Pokemon. So I kind of stopped playing it at the Elite Four. The difficulty spike was just, it was quite sudden, honestly, and the typical Pokemon smash A to win thing just doesn't really do it for me anymore, which is why when Pokemon Legends Arceus came out recently, I just finished it after like 16 or 17 hours or something like that. It was a really really nice breath of fresh air. You could almost say Breath of the Wild. but it really changed up the formula, and I'm really thankful for that, because I was really burned out on Pokemon after, obviously, Brilliant Diamond, but Pokemon Arceus redeemed the series for me, so I'm looking forward to more. I did enjoy Arceus, but I felt that it was kind of a bit grindy. But that's all fine. They're working through something, so it's obviously a transitional phase over there at Pokemon HQ. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. I bought this a few months ago to do a review and do some streaming with it, but I just haven't got around to it yet. I'm a fan of the GameCube games. I think this is a greatest hits kind of game where they remake some of the stages, so I'll have to dive into this a little bit more, but I love Super Monkey Ball. I bought Banana Blitz or something like that, late 2019 or late 2020, and I actually couldn't play it because the frame rate made me motion sick. So I don't know if this is going to be any different, or if there's an option to change the frame rate, because the 60 FPS stuff for some reason has really just been making me motion sick lately. But Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania looks fun, and I'm sure it'll hold my attention. It's great. I love the GameCube games back in the day. Now, some of you guys I know are big fans of this series here. So I picked up Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition back in like September or something like that for $40 Australian, which is pretty good. I know some of you in the States can get it relatively cheap, maybe around 20-25 US. This is a really great game, and if you're looking for value for money, this is going to be something that's going to hold your attention for a long time. I think I finished this game in around about 40 to 45 hours on like casual mode. So it's honestly a fantastic story. This is the start of obviously a new series here, and you know, we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I like. I don't like as much as Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles 1, I feel, is just slightly a little bit more linear than 2. It seems a little bit more streamlined and straightforward in terms of getting from, you know, the start of the story to the end of the story. I feel like there's a little bit more fluffing around in terms of leveling up your blades, which are kind of your partner characters. But aside from that, it's a really great story, great game so far. I think I'm about 12 or 15 hours in. I need to actually come back to this. I stopped playing this for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, and I just unfortunately haven't got back to it yet. And I would like to finish this before Xenoblade Chronicles 3 comes out here in September, which I'm really, really excited for. Now, next up is Mario Party Superstars. I bought this game primarily to stream with, and I really haven't played it aside from streaming, and I've had so much fun. And honestly, I'm not as bad at Mario Party as I thought I was. It's just a really great, fun party game, and obviously similar to Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, this is kind of a greatest hits where they've, you know, taken some classic stages, some fan favorite stages, and basically, you know, given it a fresh coat of paint in terms of visual fidelity and all that stuff. So it's exactly how we remember the games, the mini games, and the stages, but obviously looking now 2022 versions on the Switch. It's really fun, and it's really great with friends. But I can't play the games for longer than 10 matches, because any longer than that, and I just feel like it drags. Okay, now for my game of the year last year was Metroid Dread. I bought this on the day that the OLED Switch came out, and it was not a mistake doing so. I think I finished this game in around about 12 hours. It is tough as nails. It is classic Metroid that we know and love, and I'm hoping that it continues to sell and sell well. It's a series that I know that we would love more of, and I just really enjoyed my time with this. But I'm wanting more. I want to know what happens more in the story, what happens more in the Metroid world, and hopefully we don't have to wait almost 20 years, because this is a sequel to Metroid Fusion, which came out on the Game Boy Advance, and you know, the gap between Fusion and Dread is just so long. So hopefully we can close the gap a little bit sooner in terms of years. So next up is Astral Chain. When I started streaming back in like May of 2021, a lot of people said that I should pick Astral Chain up and play it as a stream game. I know nothing about this game, and there's a few games on here that I know nothing about, and that's cool. Honestly, I like just getting a game based on recommendations and then just putting it in and just finding out what everything is about. But from the trailers and maybe one or so review that I've seen, I think you play as some sort of cop, and you have some sort of partner character with you that's helps you do things. I don't know. That's a real vague and basic description. But if anybody down in the comments has played this, please let me know, because I'd like to know your thoughts. But I've heard nothing but good things about this one, so I look forward to getting to that at some stage in my ever-growing backlog. Now, this is a game that I held off playing, actually, because back in 2020, I was playing a lot of JRPGs on my PSP Go and PSP and PS Vita, because obviously those things are just, JRPG machines, really great, convenient, and portable, of course. And Saga Frontier was a game that I was almost going to play, but then I saw that they were coming out with a remastered version on the Switch. So I figured, okay, I'll pump the brakes, I'll hold off. I just got this one over the holidays, over Christmas, and I tell you what, I'm really, really itching to play it. But I put a post out on Twitter not too long ago saying, what should I play? Should I play Saga Frontier, or should I play Eastward? Now, I decided to go with Eastward based on recommendations, and plus some people want to know my thoughts and opinions on this. And so I'm just going to put together a review at some stage when I finish this game. So I think I'm about 6 or 7 hours into this game so far. I want to keep my thoughts brief here because I want to save them for a review. But it's really cool. It's different. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be Earthbound, and it kind of is, but it's kind of not, because it has its own unique flair, and it also gets really dark really unexpectedly. So we'll leave it at that. But I didn't really watch any trailers or any hype videos or any reviews or anything, so I knew nothing about it going into it. So I'm going to leave it at that, because for those of you who are waiting for my opinion on the game and waiting for more of a thorough analysis for Eastward, just hang tight a little bit. And plus, I wanted to get the physical edition. I got this at Play Asia. Play Asia is really great because you can get some physical editions that you may not have known that are available. Usually the other alternative is waiting for like limited run games or something to come out with a limited run of a game. And thankfully, Eastward was readily available at playasia.com. Okay, 2 more games left in the Switch category, and these are really classic and quintessential late 90s nostalgia memories for me. First off is Zoids Wild Beasts Unleashed. Now, I have fond memories of playing Zoids and stuff, in terms of models and toys back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I remember building some models as a kid. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad that they have a Zoids game. As far as I know, it's not like an adventure game or anything like that. It's just a side-to-side, kind of beat-em-up game with a Zoids coat of paint over it. But that, honestly, from the reviews and things that I've seen online about it, it actually looks pretty okay. So I'm pretty keen to get into it. Obviously, they've captured the look of the Zoids series, obviously Zoids being an anime, and they've kind of nailed that to a T here. So I don't know anything about Zoids after maybe the year 2001. I haven't paid attention to Zoids at all, and honestly I thought Zoids had kind of dropped off the face of the earth, but I'm glad that it's still happening, and I'm even more eager to get back in after a 20-year hiatus. Now, speaking of 20-year hiatuses, now YuGiOh Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. As far as I know, this basically details, as it says in the back, relive moments and duels from every Yu-Gi-Oh animated series. I basically tapped out of the series after Yugi and Kaiba were in it. I know that there's other characters and other storylines and stuff, but as far as Yu-Gi-Oh goes, I'm kind of the OG Yu-Gi-Oh fan, you know what I mean? I had the Yu-Gi-Oh decks in school, and I remember being part of that generation where they had Yu-Gi-Oh cards banned from schools and stuff, which was quite funny. Maybe I'm showing my age here. Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards getting banned from school. That's such a late 90s thing, isn't it? But I really enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day. I know they had some really great Yu-Gi-Oh games back on the Game Boy Color and PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. So many great memories with Yu-Gi-Oh games and Game Boy Advance too. There's a really great Game Boy Advance game for Yu-Gi-Oh. Drop a comment down below if you've played any of these Yu-Gi-Oh games. But I'm hoping to recapture the magic with this game here. And and if I can play through the main beats of Yugi's story, hey, I'm all for reliving those memories. So I'll give it a shot here soon, and it might be a stream game as well, because I think you can you go online? Oh yeah, you can go online. So hey, if I get good at the game, I'll go online. Fun fact, this is totally random, and I shouldn't even bother wasting your time with the video here saying this, but when I was back as a kid, back in the Yu-Gi-Oh days, I remember going to the Schuylkill Valley Mall in St. Clair, Pennsylvania, close to where I grew up as a kid, and every Saturday they would have Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. So I remember going to the mall with my friend and participating in a YuGiOh tournament. I remember I won exactly one match as a kid. I never won any other matches. It was just one, and I think it was a total fluke. And the size of the card deck was just so huge because I packed every character and whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter, but I wasn't very good. So hopefully I can hone my skills and maybe get a little better than I was 20 years ago. So we'll see. Okay, so over the holidays, I was so super lucky to have my wonderful wife buy me a PS5. So I've got a giant stack of PS5 and PS4 games that I'm trying to hit as best I can. So let's get into these. So on my list for maybe must-play games for like the last year, number one was Ballon Wonderworld. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy about this particular game, and I wanted to buy it purely because not only did I get it for $14 really cheap, I wanted to see if it was really as bad as it is. And I had actually recorded a bunch of footage for this. I was playing this as my main game over on Twitch, and I'm happy to tell you that it's not as bad as you think or as you've heard online. Long story short, I'm not going to bother with a review. I ended up kind of ditching it maybe 3/4 of the way through. I just had enough. I think I had experienced everything that I wanted to with this game. But if this game would have been released back in the Sega Saturn days, it would have been a masterpiece. I'm telling you, because this game is straight out of the Sega Saturn days. If this was a 1990s or late 90s game, honestly, you guys would be talking about it until the end of time. It's really quirky. It's really unique. I'm not even going to waste my time talking about it because I just ended up not really liking it. It's a decent game. It's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be. It's not, the 2021's or 2022's worst game of all time. Believe me, there are far worse games. It's a non-polished game. It's a game that's geared towards kids. It's fine. It's fine. If you find it for less than $20 like I did, give it a shot to see if you really hate it. It's fine. Next up is Kinah Bridge of Spirits. Now, obviously, this game is still sealed. This is a game that I want to get to, and this similar to a few games here that have already been shown and some games that will be shown, I really know next to nothing about. I've heard great things from what I've seen online. It looks like a Pixar movie in terms of graphical style and all that stuff. So I'm actually really keen to get into this at some stage. But again, I've heard nothing but great things, and not that the Game Awards mean anything, but good God. But I think this is going to be really cool, and it was featured in a lot of categories at the Game Awards last year, if that means anything to you. Okay, now I loved Spider-Man on the PS4. That was a really great game. So when they released Spider-Man Miles Morales, I was really, really excited to give this a shot. So I could not wait to pull the trigger on getting this as soon as I got my PS5. And of course, this comes with Spider-Man Remastered. So basically a graphically upgraded version of Spider-Man from the PS4, now ported to PS5 with the different actor, the different face for Spider-Man, which is an interesting choice. I don't even remember why they went with that. But either way, it looks fine. Spider-Man Miles Morales was a really great game. I think I finished it in like 8 hours. It was really short. For what I paid for this time versus what I paid for it, no, it wasn't worthwhile. It was still a really great experience, and I really enjoyed it. So I can recommend that you get this, but maybe just wait until it's a little bit cheaper. Don't pay full price for it unless you're excited to get back into Spider-Man Remastered like I am at some stage. But I've got so much in my backlog at the moment now that it's installed on my PS5, and that may be as far as we get for a little while. Next up is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Now, I started playing this game. I think I was about like 5 or 6 hours into this game, and I really enjoyed Ratchet & Clank, the one that came out on PS4 back in like 2016. That was a really fun game. I can't say that I'm feeling the same about this as I was the original one. I don't know why. It just hasn't grabbed me like the other one has. And obviously, you can tell that visually they're making a great improvement in terms of graphical direction. All these things look like Pixar movies at this point, like playable Pixar movies, and that's great. But I just feel like this hasn't grabbed me in a way that I really wanted it to. I love the idea that you can play as one of two Lombax, as I like the multiverse story. Like I've seen 2022, everything's multiverse now. It's pretty cool. I want to finish it. I will finish it at some stage, but I think I'm just going to put it on the back burner for now. But if you can get this for cheap enough, or if you can get it on special or on sale, grab it. Maybe don't pay full price for it just yet. Okay, Persona 5. I've got this for PlayStation 4 here. Obviously, I would play it on my PS5. I am so eager to hit this game, but I just have put it off because I don't have a spare 6 months to dedicate to one thing just yet. I will get there. I've heard nothing but great things about it from my Discord community and my Twitch community. Everybody's told me, go play it, go play this game. It's got amazing music. I've done a cover from Persona 5 on my Retro Game Remix channel, so go check that out. I'll probably have as an annotation here or down below in the description. It looks really cool. I love my JRPGs. I love my funky Japanese fusion jazz. So it seems like a match made in heaven, honestly, and I cannot wait to get to it. Some few games here that I bought relatively cheaply. Scarlet Nexus, I think I paid like $14 for this. I heard great things about this when this game came out, maybe mid-year 2021. I've seen a couple people stream it for a few minutes. I've heard great things online. I got it cheap enough. I don't know anything about it other than it just seems like a typical Bandai Namco like anime cell shaded game. Aside from that, again, it's just going to go in the backlog pile, unfortunately, but I can't wait to get to it at some stage. Another one that was really recommended to me by everybody in the Discord and Twitch community is Immortals Fenyx Rising. Same as Scarlet Nexus, I paid like less than $20 for this over the Christmas sales here in Australia at EB Games. They've got some really good sales happening at that time of the year, and if, you know, with a brand new console, you want to try and get an instant backlog of games or library games to just kind of pull off the shelf as you see fit. So Immortals Fenyx Rising, I know. I honestly, to me, from what I've seen online, it seemed like a Breath of the Wild clone. That's just me knowing absolutely nothing about it. So if you guys have played this, let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. I'm interested to check it out. Honestly, of course I've said this, you know, pretty much for almost every title that I haven't played, but I want to get to it at some stage. But I'm excited to check them out, and that's obviously why I'm buying them, because it's like, oh, I'll have that, I'll put it in the backlog, I'll put it in the library to just pull off the shelf once I finish a game, and I can kind of look and see, okay, Immortals Fenyx Rising, yep, we'll take that off the shelf and we'll pop the disc in. So everything here, I'm kind of eager to get to at some stage, because they're all games obviously that I bought that I'm interested in. Okay, so you can see behind me on the wall, I've got Hot Wheels on the wall. I've recently become a fan of Hot Wheels. Again, I've been collecting Hot Wheels with my son. Every time we go out to the shops, I'll always pick one off the shelf. It's good, easy, cheap fun. And once I saw that they were making Hot Wheels Unleashed, which I ended up picking up here on PS5, I was really excited to get into that. It's really fun. It's visually very pleasing. It handles really well. The controls are great. Everything, it's like a 10 out of 10 game. It's just it's a really nice pick up and play game, and I like that you can get some really cool cars in here, like the DeLorean, the Back to the Future DeLorean. That's really cool. I've only played like an hour or so of it, just kind of pick up and play. This is going to be a game that I just kind of put on once I don't have anything else to play, and I'm just looking for a game to kind of unwind and chill with. I wanted to wait to get this on PS5 because it looks kind of dodgy, I guess, on the Switch. And obviously getting a next-gen console. I already have the Xbox One. I have an Xbox One S, but I wanted to wait and try and get the best version possible, because I know that this game is going to look the best on PS5. Now, last but not least, this is a game I bought when it was released brand new back in March of 2020. But the reason why I'm showing this off today is because I told myself that once I got a PS5, the first thing that I'm going to do is get Final Fantasy VII Remake and the obviously Remake Integrate DLC for PS5, which is a PS5 exclusive. I know some people were upset about that as PS4 only users, and me too, honestly, because I never thought I was going to be able to get a PS5 until, you know, my wife luckily managed to get me one for Christmas, and it was a total fluke on how she got that. So I love Final Fantasy VII. I'm a massive fan of Final Fantasy VII. I will eat anything out Final Fantasy VII that comes out. I cannot wait for Remake Part 2. I don't care how long it's going to be. I know it's going to be worth it, and it's going to be a day one buy, and I'll buy every version of it. But this is really great. It looks fantastic on PS5, and the good thing about this is it's a free upgrade too. If you're an existing user on PS4 and you have the existing disc for PS4, you can basically just get a free upgrade. I love the remake on PS5. I played through it again. It's a great story. It's a timeless story. The DLC, however, was really short. I finished it in under 4 or 5 hours, so it wasn't really worth holding off for. It was really great action combat, being able to play as Yuffie instead of like Cloud and Tifa and Barrett and Aerith in the remake. So it was nice to see a different character, and obviously the events that are happening at the same time as the classic events that we know from, you know, the main party in Midgar and Final Fantasy VII. So anyway, I'm rambling about Final Fantasy VII. I love it, and I was super stoked to play it on PS5. There you go. There you have it. That's the pickups. That's pretty much everything that I've grabbed in the last, I don't know, 6 months or so. God knows I need to stop with the games here because I need to start playing them before I buy more things. It's obviously the everlasting curse of a gamer, you know, an infinitely growing backlog. But aside from that, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Let me know in the comments if there's any games here that I showed off that you liked or you're eager to play, or maybe you didn't even like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure to turn on that notification bell. Again, I'm trying to grow the channel as best as I can this year. I'm just kind of shooting videos out every week, seeing what sticks and seeing what's most popular and stuff. So eventually I will find kind of a stable rhythm, but this is obviously just more of a random off the cuff kind of showing you guys what I've bought in the last little while. So again, I'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching the channel today, guys. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for your support, and we'll see you again soon.